Let's talk to Forbes columnist and oil market analyst, Gaurav Sharma. Very good morning to you, Gaurav.
Good to be back. Good to have you in the hot seat.
Yeah. Happy Fridays. Right, let's kick off. Let's talk crude oil. I get the impression that we're breaking up and out in terms of some new highs, and everyone seems to be bullish. And off air, you said you're not going to follow the Goldman Sachs and the likes. So why are you being a contrarian as we're hitting these highs?
Well, some in the City of London think $80 using Brent as a benchmark is imminent. But you know what, Musa, I'm still waiting for Goldman Sachs' 07-08 forecast of $200 to materialise.
Well, I'd say on record, if you go back to CNBC, I called the top of the oil market at 150 when they were calling it at 200.
So that tells you, isn't it? But it's not just GS. Let's just give the devil's juice. Morgan Stanley, a whole host of other people are simply saying, well, you know, we got it wrong, OPEC's right, we'll hit 80. Now, tell me something. The Saudis are producing more than 10 million barrels. The Russians are, and we heard that the Americans have capped that level. So that's just between three of them, they're capping in excess of sort of 30 million barrels, probably 32 or somewhere around that region. I don't think this will work for the simple reason that there is still too much oil out in the market. I appreciate that the inventories are rebalancing. I know that that situation is not what it was a few months ago, but I still don't buy it. And for the simple reason that each time there is an uptick or a level of stability, which we saw towards the end of last year, around the $60 per barrel mark, there is an instant response from the Americans. And I think people ought to be very careful when they execute their trades. My philosophy, as I've said many times before on this broadcast, is that have the odd flutter, be short-term long, but long term you ought to be, the long-term bearish fundamentals have not materially altered, not for me at least.
So would you be short now?
At this point in time, I would play it by the news. If I'm placing a spread and I'm sitting here and I'm working out how the rest of the week is going to work out, I'm not going to be short. I won't short the whole week. But I go on the news cycle. You take that when these banks come out with these notes, it tends to, you tend to have a tendency where all the money managers, especially the hedge fund guys, tend to pile into the market, see if somehow the rally works. You go with these guys over a couple of sessions, or you have a flutter intraday. But over the long term, I still think a lurch back to 65 for Brent, and probably 60 is about par for West Texas.
So that's your 2018 forecast?
I would strongly think that would be the average price that we are probably looking at, unless there is a geopolitical flare-up, primarily related to the East-West pipeline in Saudi Arabia. But I think it'll be self-defeating for the Iranians and Saudis to go at lower heads.
Gaurav, on that note, thank you very much for being so bearish. Gaurav Sharma, thank you.